today. From U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's Week 11 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings taking on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
Pulls it in at the 13. And able to get this out to the 25. The Minnesota offense ready to go to work here. Their quarterback in his 10th season overall now, and 4th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
And I thought in last week's game, he found a way to win, like a good pitcher, without his best stuff. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the ratio, not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB. But finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
First carry for the Boise State Bronco, Alexander Madison. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. We take a look at his numbers on the ground last week. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers, because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he used his quickness to make a play.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Their opening drive here is going to result in a punt. They got 7 yards there, but not enough.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And that'll go as a 57-yard punt with a return of 12.
And that will come the offense as they take over.
We get our first look now at Aaron Rodgers in his 17th season now with the Green Bay Packers. And, of course, coming off a great 2020 where he took home the MVP trophy. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The numbers for Jones last week, 22 carries, 76 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
This defense for the Vikings, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
There was a little bit of lightning talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct. Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now a give to Madison. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Let's go, let's go. So, Charles, defensively here, you're going up against a veteran quarterback. He's got a lot of know-how, a ton of savvy, but a guy who's not the most mobile of quarterbacks. What's the plan of attack?
You spend all week
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Za'Darius Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off near the 42. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Throwing now is Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. To try again after the sack. Rodgers. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain him.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big gain, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Crosby with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken from about the 12. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 11 now. Here's a give to Madison running right. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's fourth down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the second time. On the return comes Cobb. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. And they came into play here off 2 straight victories. They're back to 500 on the year. But, Charles, is this little mini run coming too late to salvage their season?
Well, they definitely dug themselves a hole that leaves them needing to play almost perfect football from here on out. But I do believe they think that they've got this thing turned around, and they are capable of doing exactly that.
They'll roll him out right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete. And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing is Rodgers. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Rodgers' throw taken in by Valdez-Scantling. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there, he had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw complete here on target to Tunyon.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 41-yard line. Now Rodgers. Flushed out. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On the handoff, it's Madison. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Big Kenny Clark that time, pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. This from 54 yards away. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
So here are the Packers now to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. On play action, Rodgers. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
He gets this to Devontae Adams. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Rodgers now on 1st down. Looking deep for Adams. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Rodgers going to throw. And that's incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Rodgers to throw once more. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. Packer pressure, and down he goes. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up put a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
On 3rd down, they run with Madison. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Rodgers now. A final shot before break. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. And it's the Browns who have the lead late in the first half. Baker Mayfield has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, let's get to Philadelphia as we check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. A touchdown pass there for Jalen Hurts. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they trail the visiting Ravens in that one at halftime. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. And our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he returns this to the 22. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if he wants to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Danielle Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And some room to maneuver. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play there on the catch and run.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers, a throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flushed, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's tough there, starting to mount a good drive. Quarterback lets his guard down for just a moment, and it's going to bite him.
And I was just about to remark how controlled the game they were here in this third quarter, but that return for 6 points, we now have a game again.
They'll run it with Madison, and he'll get in for the 2 points, and that'll cut the deficit down to just a field goal. Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll go again to Jones. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 42 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Escaping the pressure right. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
This will be caught inside the 10 and brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. 2nd down and goal. Rodgers to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They push forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. So with a 4th and goal looming, we hit the end of 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here we go, a big play and a tight game late. They're going on 4th and goal. They're going to run this with a tight end. And I don't think he got in. He didn't. He's stoned at the 1-yard line. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line.
Going to begin the drive here with Madison. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back near the goal line, Cousins in trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be scooped up in the end zone. A defender gets there, and it's a touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Extra point try now for Crosby. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Taken from about the 12. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And, you know, in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly what you do.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 24. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Jones. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Sliding out of the pocket.
And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jones. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Jones with a nice gain there on 1st down as he takes his forward and call it a pickup of 6. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. And he'll get them inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 104 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Now Jones, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Extra point up and good by Crosby, and the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Taken from about the 12. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now Cousins. This is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Chris Barnes, and he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Well, obviously, Charles, this stage of the game, down 2 scores, they had to put the football in the air. Unfortunately, it gets picked off.
And the criticism comes easily in situations like this, but you just laid it out. Look where they are on the scoreboard. Look at where the clock is in the game. He has to take a chance here and try and get the ball downfield to his receivers. Unfortunately, it was picked off.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
Rodgers throwing here. Rolling to his right. Going for it all. And that is caught. But the back judge right there to say incomplete. And they don't get the reception. Incomplete. So now they're down to 17 seconds remaining. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Rodgers to throw. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. One last shot now for Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Packers, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they'll return home next week to take on the L.A. Rams. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis.